Let me tell you something that's going to absolutely infuriate you. Solo Sikoa, the man who disrespected Roman Reigns, the man who kicked out the original tribal chief, the man who has been destroying the legacy of the bloodline, just walked out of Survivor Series 2025 as the sole survivor of his team. And WWE wants you to celebrate this. Are you kidding me right now? The same Solo Sikoa who turned his back on family, who allied himself with Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa to create his own twisted version of the bloodline, just got his hand raised in victory while the WWE Universe is supposed to sit back and accept this as entertainment? I'm Wrestling Zone 1, and what went down on Smackdown the 28th of November 2025 has left me speechless. And by the end of this video, you're either going to be with Solo Sikoa or against him, there is no in between. But first, quick question, do you think Roman Reigns is watching this right now, seething with anger? Drop your answer in the comments because we need to talk about this. Let's break down exactly what happened at Survivor Series because this wasn't just a match, this was a statement. This was Solo Sikoa telling the entire WWE locker room, telling Roman Reigns, telling every single one of us that he is the tribal chief now, whether we like it or not. The Survivor Series elimination match was absolute chaos from the opening bell. Solo's team, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and one more partner who frankly didn't even matter because Solo was carrying this team on his back, went to war against a team of superstars who wanted nothing more than to humble the so-called new tribal chief. And here's what makes my blood boil, Solo didn't just win. He dominated. He didn't scrape by with a lucky pinfall or a countout. No. This man systematically eliminated his opponents one by one, showing a level of brutality and precision that we haven't seen since Roman Reigns was in his prime. The Smackdown highlights showed us everything. The Samoan spike that dropped the first opponent. The sheer power displayed when he sent another superstar flying over the top rope. The calculated, cold-blooded way he picked apart his competition like a shark circling wounded prey in the water. Jacob Fatu was out there doing his high-flying moonsault madness, proving why he's one of the most dangerous additions to the bloodline. But let's be honest, Solo was the story. Every camera angle, every replay, every commentator's call kept going back to one man, Solo Sikoa. Now, here's where things get really interesting, and this is where I need you to pay attention because WWE is trying to slide this past us like we're not supposed to notice. There were at least 3 moments in this match where Solo should have been disqualified. The referee was conveniently looking the other way when Solo used tactics that would make even the Usos from their dirty work days say, "Whoa, that's too far." Did you see that low blow that the camera barely caught? Did you notice how Tama Tonga distracted the official while Solo choked out his opponent on the ropes for what had to be a 7 count? And don't even get me started on what happened outside the ring when Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa were doing God knows what to the legal man while Solo had the referee's attention inside the ring. This is classic bloodline playbook. But here's the twist, Roman Reigns never needed to resort to this level of rule breaking to win his matches. Roman had presence. Roman had dominance. Roman had that aura that made you believe he could beat anyone without needing 4 guys to gang up on one opponent. Solo Sikoa is trying so hard to fill Roman's shoes that he's tripping over the laces. Quick question number 2, on a scale of 1 to 10, how corrupt was the officiating in this match? Let me know in the comments, and don't hold back. Let's talk about the final elimination because this is where Solo Sikoa either proved himself or exposed himself, depending on which side of this argument you're on. It came down to Solo and one remaining opponent, and I'm not going to spoil who it was because you need to watch the full match if you haven't already, but the psychology of this final sequence was masterful. I'll give Solo credit where credit is due. The crowd was on their feet. The Smackdown arena was shaking with anticipation. You could feel the tension through the screen. This was Solo's moment to either become a legitimate main event threat or confirm what his haters have been saying all along, that he's just riding the bloodline coattails. The final opponent hit Solo with everything, and I mean everything. Signature moves, high-impact maneuvers, near falls that had the crowd counting along. There was a moment, just one moment, where it looked like Solo was done. The referee's hand came down, 1, 2, Solo kicked out, and the look on his face when he kicked out? Chills. Pure, unadulterated determination mixed with a hint of that Anoa'i family rage that has been passed down through generations. You could see Rikishi in that expression. You could see Umaga. You could see The Rock. And yes, whether we want to admit it or not, you could see Roman Reigns. Then came the Samoan spike. Not just 1, not 2, 3 consecutive Samoan spikes that left his opponent unconscious in the middle of that ring. The pin wasn't even dramatic, it was academic. 1, 2, 3. Match over. Solo Sikoa stands tall as the sole survivor. But here's what happened after the match that has the entire WWE Universe divided right now, and this is what's going to set up the next several months of Smackdown programming. Solo didn't celebrate like a normal winner. He didn't play to the crowd or raise his arms in triumph like he'd accomplished something special. No, this man stood in the center of the ring, held up the one finger, the one symbol that Roman Reigns made iconic, and stared directly into the hard camera with a message that was crystal clear: I am the tribal chief. I am the head of the table, and anyone who says different can acknowledge me now. The audacity, the absolute disrespect to everything Roman Reigns built. Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa surrounded him in the ring, raising his arms like he'd just won the WWE Championship. The new bloodline stood united while the WWE Universe rained down boos that could probably be heard in the parking lot. And here's the kicker: Paul Heyman was nowhere to be seen. The wise man, the special counsel to the tribal chief, the man who has been by the bloodline side through thick and thin, was absent from this moment. What does that tell you? It tells me that even Paul Heyman, the man who could sell ice to an Eskimo, wants nothing to do with Solo Sikoa's version of the bloodline. It tells me that this victory at Survivor Series might have won Solo a match, but it hasn't won him legitimacy. Which brings us to the billion-dollar question that everyone is asking: where is Roman Reigns in all of this? The original tribal chief has been suspiciously quiet since Solo staged his coup. We haven't seen a direct confrontation. We haven't gotten a face-to-face promo. We haven't witnessed the reckoning that everyone knows is coming. But make no mistake about it, Roman Reigns is watching. Roman Reigns is waiting. And when he decides to make his move, Solo Sikoa and his entire makeshift bloodline are going to wish they'd never disrespected the head of the table. Think about it: Roman Reigns has been in exile, biding his time, letting Solo think he's actually accomplished something. This is classic Roman strategy. Let your enemies get comfortable. Let them think they've won. Let them celebrate their hollow victories. And then, when they least expect it, you strike with the force of a freight train. I'm calling it right now: WrestleMania season is going to feature the match we've all been waiting for: Roman Reigns vs Solo Sikoa for the soul of the bloodline. And when that match happens, Solo is going to learn a hard lesson about the difference between being a tribal chief and being the tribal chief. Question number 3 for the comments: when Roman Reigns finally returns and confronts Solo, do you think it'll be at the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, or will WWE make us wait all the way until WrestleMania? I want to hear your predictions. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: does Solo Sikoa deserve to be in this position? His supporters will point to this Survivor Series victory and say, see, he just outlasted everyone on the opposing team. He proved his main event material. And you know what? On paper, they are not completely wrong. Solo showed incredible resilience, devastating offense, and the kind of killer instinct that you need to succeed at the highest level of WWE. But his critics, and I count myself among them, will argue that winning one match, even a Survivor Series elimination match, doesn't erase the fact that he betrayed the bloodline. It doesn't change the reality that he needed 3 other guys to help him get to this point. It doesn't validate his claim to a throne that was built by Roman Reigns over years of dominance. Solo Sikoa has been in WWE's main roster for a relatively short time compared to the legacy he's trying to claim. He hasn't paid the dues. He hasn't had the championship reigns. He hasn't main event WrestleMania. He hasn't carried Smackdown on his shoulders through good times and bad times like Roman did. What Solo Sikoa has done is align himself with dangerous individuals, use his family name to gain opportunities, and now win a match that, yes, I'll admit it, does add credibility to his resume. But one match doesn't make you the tribal chief. One victory doesn't erase your sins against the family. So where does the bloodline saga go from here? Because let's be real, this storyline is far from over. If anything, Solo's victory at Survivor Series just added more fuel to a fire that's been burning for months. We've got Solo and his faction on one side, claiming legitimacy and demanding acknowledgement. We've got Roman Reigns lurking in the shadows, waiting for his moment to reclaim what's his. We've got the Usos, G and Jimmy, who have their own complicated history with both Roman and Solo. And somewhere in all of this chaos, you've got superstars like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and others who are watching this family civil war and waiting to pick up the pieces. The beauty of professional wrestling is that it's never just about one match. This Survivor Series victory is just a chapter in a much larger story. And if WWE books this correctly, which, let's be honest, they haven't always done. We're looking at a narrative that could carry SmackDown through the next year. Imagine the promos. Imagine the tension. Imagine the heat when Roman finally returns and stands face to face with Solo in the middle of that ring. The WWE Universe will explode. The social media reactions will break the internet. And Wrestling Zone 1 will be here to break it all down for you. Look, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that Solo Sikoa isn't talented. The man is clearly gifted in the ring. He's got the look, he's got the pedigree, and after tonight, he's got a marquee victory on his resume. But talent isn't everything in WWE. You need respect, you need to earn your position, and you need to understand that some legacies are bigger than individual ambition. Solo Sikoa won the Survivor Series elimination match, but he hasn't won the war. Not by a long shot. Roman Reigns is coming. The reckoning is inevitable. And when it happens, we'll finally get the answer to the question that's been haunting WWE for months. Who is the true tribal chief? My money's on Roman. But Solo just made this a hell of a lot more interesting. Final question for you, are you Team Roman or Team Solo? And before you answer, really think about what each man represents for the future of WWE. Drop your answer in the comments, hit that like button if you want to see more Bloodline breakdowns, and make sure you're subscribed to Wrestling Zone 1 because we're covering every single twist and turn of this saga until it's resolved. The Tribal Chief throne is up for grabs. The Bloodline is at war, and WWE has never been more unpredictable. This is Wrestling Zone 1, and I'll see you in the next one. Now go watch that full match and tell me if I'm wrong about any of this. I'll be waiting in the comments.